Welcome back to my YT channel. This is again, I'm seeing a eternal voice. Oh, diba? Look at my outfit today. Oh my gosh. Okay, the topic for today is the chemistry on exothermic and endothermic environment, or exothermic and endothermic reaction, something like that. So different types of chemical reactions, and different types of phase changes, chemical processes, name it or whatever. It could be either exothermic or endothermic. For example, me, I am talking in front of you inside my room, then now I feel cooled because of the presence of the air circulation, because my AC was on, or it's on right now, then I feel cold. So what's this type of environment? Is exothermic environment or endothermic environment? We need to know that, because some of the computations, especially if we will be dealing with common and thermodynamics and physics, something like that, usually involves the exothermic and endothermic, like that. And some also processes which are common in our day-to-day lives involve this kind of environment, whether endothermic, exothermic, like that. For example, if I decided to go to the gym now, or I need to go to the workout, then I'll be able to burn up calories, right? After I jog, or after I run, I walk for 20 minutes, everything, there will be a metabolism, process in our body. Then we convert larger molecules to smaller molecules. That's why we release the electrolytes and stuff from our body, the different type of unnecessary acids or unnecessary toxins or whatever, or wastes, fats, like that, conversion or whatever. Okay, we release the waste from our body. So it involves also what kind of reaction, exothermic or endothermic, something like that. Now we talk to that topic because it's very important, because most of the times also, especially I think thermodynamics involve a lot of thermochemical equations. Thermochemical equations meaning there's chemical reactions, and at the same time it will involve heat in the process, so that the reactants could produce the necessary products required to calculate what is being desired, the amounts being desired, the particular production or whatever. You try to manufacture chemicals out from that raw materials, and then your processes involved are all about involves chemical changes, not only physical changes. Then you have to adopt this principle of exothermic and endothermic. Okay, so as we go along the way with the discussion, you can really understand what I'm talking to, because it's purely verbal. But as I go over and present to you the graphical representation, what this really exothermic is all about, endothermic reaction about, then you can also understand gradually, and body you can also understand well, right? Okay, so in this discussion, we need to talk about the phase changes, and the processes. So normally physical processes and the chemical processes also, especially the chemical reactions. Really, guys? Okay, in our next vlogging, we will be enjoying different chemical calculations, thermochemical calculations that involves heat, delta H, or the enthalpy of the substance, or enthalpy content, something like that, or heat content. So we need to know that also, so that we can understand really what's going on in the process, something like, or in the reactions or whatever. Okay, you get the point. Okay, now I don't prepare any problems right now. I need to have a few discussions only regarding the concepts of this exothermic and endothermic. Wait for a while. I need to take my coffee first. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Wait for a while. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, mga kapatid. Okay, I'll still have to write my topics for today. Okay. I need to write the topics for today. Since I feel cold, I need to off the AC, so that I will feel a little bit of hotness. Because too cold also. It's gonna be like that, hotness, coldness, the measure of hotness and coldness, right? That is all about exothermic and endothermic environment, or exothermic or endothermic reaction. Okay, I need to drink coffee. Then what will be happening inside the internal organs and the vital organs in the body? What type of environment inside our body really is. It could be exothermic, endothermic. Actually, this is important, but since this is only theory, most of the students, examinees, or students in colleges and universities don't really seriously understand these topics because this is not a problem solving. This is a calculation. Because as what I understand in college, most of the students are focusing on problem solving. Really, I think 80% of the engineering students are focusing on problem solving. Okay, math, something like that. Okay, and only few, or let's say 50% that focus on the principles, concepts, and theories with problem solving. Okay, sometimes we need to change the perception. It's not to be like that. Okay, because that is not really the best thing to do. Okay. Okay, like that. And I need to tell you something also. As you can notice also in different examinations, guys, I think based on my theoretical, analysis also, when I was in college, I really wonder why most of the top-notchers are not really on the top. They are not really honor students. To tell you honestly, not all the time honor students will be on the top most of the times. So I found out not really that summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or cum laude, whatever, or top 1, top 2, top 3 will be in the top notchers. Can you imagine why it happens? Okay, so sometimes you will say, what's happening? We expect him or her to be the top notcher, but he doesn't make it, something like that. So what's the reason behind for that? And there is an average student who is not really an intelligent one and like that, and then he tops the board examination, something like that. Okay, so so we need to know what's going on, something like that. So I will also share to you about that. Okay, I will just take my coffee. Okay, like that. So I need to. This is a disclaimer. This is not really objective, but this is only through observations based on my personal confession, something like that. Okay, but based on myself. So I need to explain based on myself only. So this disclaimer, this may not be true to others or to the majority, but based on my experience. Okay, like that. It will be correct also to some or to few, but it doesn't reflect to the majority. Or if, then good. Then it's not, then it's okay also. That's why this is subjective. Okay, not objective. You get the point? Sometimes we need to know for example, if we need to comment in the social media, sometimes we need to draw the line, what is a subjective and what is an objective, so that there will be no clashes of comments there. Okay, if you found out that the commenter talked about more on general, then you don't have to argue because that's general. It doesn't specify a thing that really directly pointed out to you, something like that. Okay? And then when you answer him or her, your comment also will be in a general form. Do not directly reply to him in a personal way or a personal attack, because the one who comment is not really doing the objective type or in a direct type. Sometimes we need to understand also. It's still English, right? English. Okay, the mode of how you present your comment in the social media. Sometimes you need to reply according to what is the type of commenting he has taken. For example, if this guy is or whatever are doing the social post, individual social posting, if general effect, then reply him also in general effect. Do not attack him personally, because it will cause clashes, hated speech, arguments, and fighting or verbal fighting in the comment section. And then you have different ideas, then you will not meet, and it causes fire, and you will be in trouble. Both of you will be in war, word war, something, or bullying. The result most of the times are bullying or disrespect of your comments between you and him or whatever. Okay, so you need to troubleshoot or extract the type of commenting that this guy or this person is doing. Okay, so if his or her comment is not really directed to you, so don't also be affected, something like, okay, because it doesn't specify to you. Okay, it doesn't identify that you are the subject of his comment, though he targeted you or the other audience, but it's not really that specific. So don't be hurt because it's general statement. You get the point? General statement can be applicable to anybody. Okay? You get the point? Then if you are really hurt, then of course you are affected. So replying in a general approach. Do not personal attack. It's another story really. Okay? Get the point? Because there are commenters who are very straightforward and frank. Okay? They don't really assess the effect, okay, and the impact of the message and the comments delivered in social media. Okay? So as long as they can present or they can express what's inside their hearts, what's inside their mind, to release their agony, to release their sadness, to release their anger, their hate. So they just release it so that they can be free from their, sadness, so they don't also assess the impact for their comments. And you also, you should also know that there are persons like that. You should also open-minded. You get the point? Because we are all persons, we have feelings and emotions. Okay, so maybe he did it or he do that because he cannot take it anymore. Something like that. You get the point? And he released it in social media. Okay? As long as they did not mention anybody else and it's not directed to you, then don't be affected. You get the point? And then if you reply in a general approach. Do not attack him personally, and then you stated mistakes or imperfection, weaknesses to you or to any other else that you believe that these people are, supporting to somebody else or whatever, especially politics, right? Mostly politics will cause, heated arguments, heated speech like that, because of the clashes of different ideas and opinions, okay, in social media. You get the point? Wala siya nitabo. Okay? So better na lang siya, if you try, you cannot take it, or you cannot, this is not good. Then, you don't have to entertain the posts or the comments, then ignore. You get the point? Ignore. And then, out of that page, go out. Something like that, so to avoid things like that. Especially there are commenters who are really, they cannot accept their weaknesses, they can accept their weaknesses. They always feel that they are also right every time. So if that is the case, that you know already the situation, then ignore. What for? You're wasting also your time. You know already that your ideas will not be connected. Okay? Something like things like that also. Okay? Then you need to study also the atmosphere of commenting. It's very important really, you have to adjust. You get the point. You have to adjust also. No, my topic is exothermic and endothermic, but I'm talking about the code of ethics in social media commenting, right? Do I say it correctly? Muna siya akong topic. Shift ko sa topic. Okay, guys, I will be going back again. It cost me a lot of time. I'm just 13 minutes right now. Sorry that I did not proceed the discussion of exothermic and endothermic chemical reaction because, when the moment I wake up in the bed, something like that, when I see my notifications, a lot kasi yung mga comments dito, and then, I cannot entertain all. I'll just ignore it, something like that. And usually I can see the faces of the symbols like, oh my gosh, this expressed hatred. Okay, this expressed war, something like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? And then you are just waking up at the morning. Also, it's not good that when you see the phone, oh, it's negative already coming on your phone. So instead of you will be jobilang, jobilang, and be happy, and then you will be sad immediately. Oh, what's the news all about? Something like that. Okay, so sometimes you need to ignore and things like take it or leave it, something like this. As long as it doesn't directly affect to you, then it doesn't matter, right? Get the point? Do I say it correctly? As long as it doesn't affect you or it doesn't really directly towards to you, the impact and the point of the comment, then you don't have to worry. Get the point? Ganun lang siya. And then you should be, open-minded, something like that. You need to study the type of person. There are also a lot of persons in social media that are very straightforward, frank, just like me. I'm really that on that leveling, frank and straightforward. Okay, like that, and then too much, too much words. Okay, and then me, because I'm in a journalism, I am also trained to be like that. So study also my character and personality as a person. You get the point? So, so those who are really good in English, something like that, you can see that their comments also are, you can see, like that, too narrative. Sometimes you will think also like that, okay? If you really know that person personally, something, if you did not know the person, okay, you will say, because what's this all about? The company, you will say like that. And then most of the times my comments are supported with, evidences that coming from other, and other sources also. Then so that you can trace it back if I am stating it correctly. So I can present documents or evidences. If ever there will be somebody will file a case against me, I can really present my source or my sources. Okay, you get the point? I have reference sources before I posted. You get the point? Ganon. So that you can trace it back there. That idea is already extracted from there, not originally coming from mine. Okay? So cybercrime and libel case doesn't qualify to that. If the comment is not really originated to you, so you will not be, you will not be in trouble. Okay? You are not the author of that main point. It's another person. You are all only putting that there, that you are agreeing to that certain points. That's why you put sources. You get the point? Nana siya sa cybercrime law, and then read it also the content of that. You will understand before saying something bad. That be careful, you will be filed. So, my gosh, okay, you should need to study first about cybercrime law and libel cases before you speak things against the people who knows already what's all about that kind of law. Get the point? Study first. Okay? If somebody will comment that, very frank and straightforward, you will say immediately, be careful, you will be, somebody will file a libel case for you. Know first what is really a libel case. Okay, go to the paragraph to section 1.1, section 1.2, understand it very well. Okay, so that, don't think generally, it specifies there, everything, the criteria, when can you say that it is a cybercrime, cases or libel case or whatever, okay? You get the point? Ganon. You get the point, ha? Now, bye-bye na mga kapatid. I'll have to stop it so that I can proceed to my real topic. I'm talking about politics, right? And commenting the social